We are Group 1 in Philosophy 323 with Professor Zach Rentz. My name is Alistair. For our group project, we analyzed ethical concerns regarding YouTube as a digital platform and the implications of its recommender systems. Collectively, the world spends over 1 billion hours per day on YouTube. It's no surprise that YouTube and digital platforms like it have become a huge component in the way information is disseminated in our modern age. Considering this, we asked, what are the responsibilities of a huge platform like YouTube to censor content on its platform and remove content that would be considered violent, such as child pornography or acts of terrorism? But where is this line drawn between what is not allowed on its platform and what is? If you've been on YouTube, you've seen the little tab on the right sidebar that says Up Next. These personalized recommendations are created by YouTube's recommender systems, which suggest content to the users who are most likely to engage with it. YouTube creates these recommendations based off of all of the data that it has on each of its users. Through our research, we identified 3 ethical issues. The first being increasing entrenched beliefs through recommendations provided by YouTube. The second being transparency and agency over data and its terms of use. Thirdly, we addressed demonetization and censorship of content by YouTube. We conclude this video by recommending design modifications YouTube can make to address these ethical concerns.
I'm going to present a utilitarian argument and an ACM Code of Ethics argument to explain why YouTube's recommendation system is unethical. So starting with my utilitarian argument, since users are more likely to click on content that they like or agree with, YouTube recommends videos to users that they know the user will agree with. This model runs the risk of making some users more radical with their beliefs. When users only view content that matches their perspective, they isolate themselves from other opinions and strengthen their views, disregarding evidence that contradicts their views. Radicalism is problematic because it causes people to have very right-wing or left-wing views, which can make compromise difficult. The polarization of certain groups within our community poses a significant harm to society. Since YouTube's recommender system contributes to the polarization of society, YouTube is harmful to the greater good of society. Whatever positive contributions may come from YouTube's recommender system, the negatives outweigh the positives. Therefore, YouTube's recommendation system should be reconsidered to mitigate harm. Moving forward, I want to talk about Section 2.5 of the ACM Code of Ethics, which states extraordinary care should be taken to identify and mitigate potential risks in machine learning systems. YouTube uses machine learning to construct their recommendation system. As I stated earlier, YouTube's recommender system contributes to the polarization of society, which is harmful for the greater good of society. Since YouTube's recommender system has been harmful to society, extraordinary care has not been taken to identify and mitigate the potential risks of its machine learning system, and YouTube thereby violates ACM Code 2.5.
My first argument is that, from a utilitarian standpoint, the cons of the system outweigh the pros. The pro of the system, being hidden from the user, is convenience. Just use the platform and you'll automatically begin given information relevant to you. But this pro is dampened by the fact that, all of the information that you give the platform is indirect. Maybe you want to watch a few videos on sewing because you want to mend clothing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're interested in more videos on that topic. So that's mostly innocuous, but there is a big negative associated with locking people out of their user data. People on the internet don't only interact with content that they enjoy. They can watch videos for the express purpose of hating the video. There's communities on the internet, such as the incel community, that are based around self-deprecation. And if your recommendation system builds an echo chamber around you that is based on hatred, then you could end up radicalized. So the cons heavily outweigh the pros, and that's bad from a utilitarian standpoint. Preventing user agency also violates the ACM Code of Ethics, Section 1.3, be honest and trustworthy. YouTube keeps its information on you secret. We already know that the information from their recommendation system can be parsed and made readable by humans because Facebook does that exact thing with their recommendation system. You can go onto your Facebook account and look at what Facebook thinks you like, what brands it thinks you like, what political party Facebook thinks that you belong to. So it's definitely possible to take this information out of a recommendation system and group it up into categories that humans will understand. So there could be multiple reasons then that YouTube keeps this data from you. One possible explanation is that they're a company, and so they are ultimately motivated by profit. They want to maximize engagement so that they can maximize money, even if the engagement is harmful to the user, as we previously discussed. So if they allow users to edit their own recommendations and to essentially, if a user wants to de-radicalize themselves, then YouTube could suffer by losing engagement from that user. Valuing platform engagement over the user's well-being is not trustworthy, and therefore it breaks the ACM Code of Ethics.
There are ethical concerns about YouTube's platform regarding demonetization and censorship. These come from two basic forms: demonetization of content and their recommendation system. Demonetization can lead to censorship because it reduces incentives for content creators to produce videos, and thus these content creators are not able to express their views on certain topics. Because of this, people who might otherwise watch these content creators do not get to share their opinions, and thus the content that would otherwise be shared on the platform is censored. Since YouTube is engaging in this, and their system is often faulty or discriminates against certain viewpoints on particular topics, this must be addressed. The easiest way for YouTube to address this is to create more transparency about how their demonetization system functions and what in particular will get you demonetized. Oftentimes, users have to jump through many hoops, and it is not very clear what types of videos or what content is demonetized. The second issue in YouTube's system is its recommendation algorithm. This algorithm can indirectly lead to censorship by creating an echo chamber for the user, because it has a lack of diversity in recommended videos. For example, if a conservative watches largely conservative videos involving politics, they will most likely be recommended only conservative videos. And if a Democrat watches only Democratic videos, they will also most likely only be recommended Democratic videos. This can lead to a lack of critical thinking, as the user does not engage in content with the opposing viewpoint.
We recommend two different design modifications to the YouTube platform. The first is to increase transparency and user control over YouTube's recommendation system. The second is to increase transparency over the policies for demonetization and removal of content. We recommend that YouTube create a recommendations control tab for each user, which will allow the users to either opt in or opt out of personalized recommendations, as well as customize a user's preference for the strength and diversity of recommendations. Different ideas have been proposed to allow this to happen, including the creation of a visual diversity promoting interface. In addition, adjustments can be made to its algorithm to include content that is more diverse. YouTube must become more transparent over how it demonetizes and censors content on its platform. It could do this by creating video or website resources that creators could access to easily understand when and if their content would be demonetized. In addition, it could change its policy to demonetize individual videos rather than demonetizing an entire channel for a creator.
A few things can be done to help mitigate the ethical concerns with YouTube's recommendation system. Firstly, YouTube should tell you exactly what data they use to build your consumer profile. Give YouTube a section in their terms of service regarding data usage rather than linking to the Google terms of service, which is more broad. Then, YouTube should also show you in plain detail their consumer profile on you, in the same way that Facebook does. Finally, users should be allowed to edit this consumer profile directly. If YouTube thinks that you like sewing, then you should have the ability to tell them that that's wrong. In essence, this will allow you to unsubscribe from topics that YouTube thinks that you want, which could help people that want to de-radicalize themselves. If YouTube shows you their profile on you and then allows you to edit it, it could also end up benefiting YouTube because they will end up with, theoretically, a more accurate predictor of what videos you'll engage with.
Thank you for watching our presentation. We invite you to comment and share your perspective in the comment section below.